slightly older African women, and they were going through a deep conversation about how they had failed for years and years, been trying to have a child, to have children.
Got your feel-good vibes.
99 FM.
In the news tonight, City of Windhoek secures 155 million Namibian dollar loan for new power substation to avoid load shedding.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Maggie Forciero. In the news tonight, unions not effective in addressing labour disputes, says political analyst. Vanani questions Health Ministry on absence of national health policy. 9-year-old girl living with disability in need of assistance. Kavango East Green Scheme improves despite last year losses. And Business on One comments corner, sport and the weather. Political analyst Ndumba Kamwanya stated that trade unions have lost relevance and their ineffectiveness has created a vacuum in addressing labour issues. As a result, Kamwanya said political parties are capitalising on the opportunity to lift their public profiles in the process.
Kamwanya said trade union leaders often neglect the plight of their members, which has led to political parties getting involved in issues affecting workers. Kamwanya made these remarks under the topic Namibian Political and Economic Outlook for 2023 at the Landless People's Movement Retreat Conference held in Windhoek last week Friday.
We have seen that unions, especially the leadership of various unions, they are in there for their own interests, including to make sure that they be co-opted in leadership positions, whether government or in a political party. So what that is doing to labor relations is that it's creating a vacuum really to address issues that are affecting ordinary workers, but it also created an opportunity for labor issue to be politicized, and we have seen the NEF going into that direction. The Amshelelo, they are going in that direction because of that vacuum that has been created by weakening unions, trade unions.
News on One spoke to Namibia Economic Freedom Fighter, which has been vocal on labor matters, with some of their members having faced arrest for leading protests in this regard. The deputy leader, Ipumbu Kalimbo, in a telephonic interview stated that the party will be committed to ensuring that the Namibian workers have a decent living.
The position of Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters will continue to be a radical position to oversee the conditions of our people, particularly the people that we call workers of this generation. The utterances or comments made by the political analysts I think this is the right time that we should actually say thanks to those that they have noticed that the call that we have been making all this time around are real calls, and this need to be taken on a very serious note. He has seen also by himself that the leadership of the SWAPO party has failed totally, has failed the workers, have failed even the administration of the state. So therefore, we are calling on the Ministry of Labor, who will continuously be calling him as useless as he is, and also those leaders of the unions, that they are actually nothing than just mongers and bloodsuckers of the people of Namibia, who we call them workers.
Multiple efforts to reach the Namibia Public Workers Union General Secretary Petrus Nevonga to ask whether trade unions have lost their relevance proved futile by the time of going to air.
There are data deals, and then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial star 130 star 780 hash and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only 185 Namibian dollars excluding VAT. T's and C's apply.
Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world.
On this episode of The She Word, we find out what should be done to protect egg donors from possible exploitation.
It is while waiting for a doctor's appointment to undergo tubal ligation in the UK that Pumla Navacha heard about egg donation.
I overheard a conversation between two slightly older African women, and they were going through a deep conversation about how they had failed for years and years, been trying to have a child, to have children.
The Popular Democratic Movement President McHenry Vanani has questioned the Ministry of Health and Social Services on the absence of a national health policy in the country for the last 2 years. The ministry's last policy was launched in 2010 and expired in 2020. Vanani stated that the Ministry of Health cannot function without a national health policy, which is a framework that provides for a comprehensive description of the goals of health and social services.
The official opposition leader made the remarks at a recent press briefing where he also challenged the Ministry of Health and its stakeholders to include a new state hospital in the next budget, which is scheduled to be tabled next month.
We are talking about 2024, 2023 now. There is an absence of a health policy in this country. We are going for the first time, after many engagements, we are consulting, but we are going to write a letter, and I shall make this letter, reveal the content of this letter very later in the week, that we are saying, how do you run a health department, a health ministry, in the absence of a health policy? We have been hearing that there is a development of this health policy for the last 13 years, but we are saying you can't have a health department that has no health policy. Let's get our health policy going forward. PDM would lead an agenda to the president that we need to build a new hospital in Windhoek, a new state hospital. And those that says there's no money to build a new health hospital, if you take 650 million that you are spending on condoms and gloves, you can already build 10-floor hospital in Windhoek. We are saying in the next budget, the budget that is going to be tabled on 23 February, we are calling on government conscious to start building a new hospital in this country. The resources are there. We are just eating the resources.
Vernani further questioned the ministry on the alleged 32 doctors earning salaries as state doctors while operating private practices. He called on the government to stop what he termed as health rot.
There are 32 doctors, close to 32 doctors, that are earning salaries as state doctors, as specialists of key departments. But these doctors are running private practices. They only come probably 2 times a week to the hospital. They are earning free salaries from the state. They are running big practices outside. We know their name, but we are calling upon government to stop this health rot, where doctors, key specialists, are getting full-scale salaries as specialists paid by the state. These doctors are running private practices. They are 90% of their time with private practices. Junior doctors are left to fend for patients. The reason of these specialists, the reason of their appointment was that we push for a retainer, that we retain good doctors in the public sector. But there is a flagrant abuse of doctors that are being paid by the state full-time. They are running private practices. They hardly come to the state. They only come once. 27 of them do not even occupy offices at the state hospitals that they are supposed to supervise as heads of departments and so forth.
News on One made various efforts to get the Ministry of Health's position from the Executive Director, Ben Nangombe, on the above allegations. However, questions sent to Nangombe were not answered at the time of this broadcast.
A 30-year-old mother from Greenwell, Matonga in Windhoek is seeking financial assistance for her 9-year-old daughter who lives with a disability to continue taking her child to school. The girl, Tora Amuyagele, was diagnosed with a heart problem at 9 months. In addition to this, she also has cerebral palsy and struggles to talk and is unable to walk. The unemployed mother, Justine Andreas, says that she struggles to take her daughter every day to the side-by-side center for children with special needs. Hence, she needs financial support.
Andreas explained the social grant of $250 a month is little and she therefore struggles to make ends meet. Andreas stated that her daughter felt ill when she was 9 months and needed to go for surgery in South Africa. The mother was hopeful when she saw signs of development after the surgery. However, her hopes were dashed when it turned out she was unable to work following the operation.
My daughter doesn't walk. We need assistance with food and transport money. She was having a heart problem. She was not growing. I gave birth to her weighing only 1.8 kgs. That is when they saw that she had a heart problem. We took her for an operation in South Africa. She was not waking up. After the operation, she started crawling, but it is difficult for her. As you can see, her trousers are torn in the knees due to the crawling.
Andreas explained that she finds it difficult to take her to school as she carries her on her back and drops her off to school by foot. She added that if she gets assistance, it will also allow her to also concentrate on selling fat cakes for additional income.
I want to thank those who will be assisting us. I'm asking Good Samaritans to assist us. I'm unemployed. I only sell fat cakes for a living. Although I sell fat cakes, it is not enough to maintain us. I don't want to burden people with my child. That is why I'm taking care of her. She has physiotherapy that she needs to go to, but I find it difficult to take her there, as at times I don't have money to take her to the hospital.
The Uvunguvungu Green Scheme, situated in the Kavango East region, is now producing a surplus of 10 to 12 tons of maize per hectare. This comes after the irrigation project experienced almost a complete loss of produce last year due to financial and climatic difficulties.
Acting Farm Manager Pontianas Kashokora stated that they almost lost the entire produce last year due to issues such as low water pressure output from the irrigation systems, due to insufficient water supply and a lack of finances to address these issues, among others. Kashokora explains that the situation has greatly improved after the project obtained additional investment last year from the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform.
Even though we have challenges, but the little which we have, we manage to plow for commercial plus our small-scale farmers, which the little which we have only 2 tractors, the John Deeres, but we managed. We plant number 1, tender field, number 3, number 4 is this one, number 5 is this one, and number 8, that's right. But we managed.
Kashokora further added that out of the 182 hectares of maize currently under irrigation, 122 hectares belong to commercial farmers and 66 belong to small-scale farmers, who all form part of the Uvunguvungu Green Scheme irrigation project.
We are going to plant now for small-scale farmers. We are busy now planting for them, even though it was too late, but because of the tractor breakage and implements is why they are now, we are still planting for them. At the time we planted now for small-scale farmer, 4 farmers is already planted. Now tomorrow we are going to apply herbicide for them.
Kashokora alluded that other than the maize currently under irrigation, the farmers plan to focus on wheat production this year. Uvunguvungu, situated 10 kilometers outside of Rundu, on the way to Divundu, is considered one of the latest success stories of the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform's Green Scheme projects.
This is VOA Tech.
The scary thing about traumatic brain injury is that brain cells don't grow back the same way skin cells would after a scrape. So often rehabilitation means retraining the brain to do mundane tasks.
All right, ready to make the transfer now?
Traumatic injury, when somebody, such as a car accident, where they're going forward, your brain is moving kind of like jello in there, and it's called coup contra coup, so bounces.
This is VOA Tech.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. RIK Technical College in Soweto, Windhoek is encouraging the youth to apply for different trades they are offering because vocational education and training is the future. RIK Project Manager Barry Kashire stated that once a graduate obtains their qualification, they are able to start their own business and create jobs, which is beneficial to the development and economy of the country.
RIK Technical College is a private vocational center and was established in 2009. Training started in 2011 with accredited courses such as agriculture, boilermaker, welding, office administration and occupational health, amongst others. The Vocational Technical College is ready for their 2023 intake.
For 2023, we are very much ready in terms of training, and we have actually resumed. As you have come to visit us, you can see that we're actually busy with induction, but recruitment is still ongoing. So we are still inviting the Namibian youth to apply for different trades that we are offering. So it's very much hectic here. We are very much busy. And the requirements, usually it's an E-sample, grade 11, and you must at least have an E-sample in English. But we don't want to limit it only to that E-sample. because we say that this is it's a vocational training, so we don't want to limit it only to the academic side. So we invite the candidates to apply, and then we give them a test which is called a LEAD test, learner entry assessment test, just to test his or her competency in English and also in numeracy, to see whether he or she is able to read and to write. And then once he or she passes that test, then at least we can accommodate him to take the passion of TVET.
News on One caught up with a second-year agriculture trainee, Vadakuye Hiko, who stated she applied at the college because she has a passion for livestock and crops. Hiko further explains why she chose to study at a technical college.
Because a lot of people are limited to or aren't qualified to go to varsities or so forth. And I felt like, because a technical college actually checks or it how can I say, it opens opportunities for any other person that aren't qualified to go to varsities.
Another bola maker and welding trainee, Ludwig Chidepa, who has been home for over 2 years as he did not know what to do, is now also part of the college. Chidepa stated that he is passionate about joining metals.
I would really advise someone to also come school here because it opens a lot of doors for you, because we are the future. Boilermakers are the futures of the world. I mean, like, we are the people who's going to build the big buildings and the big skyscrapers and everything. You know, like, we are the future.
NTA stated the college is indeed registered with them. However, they are in the process of registering agriculture, office administration and occupational health.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on Business on One.
Join Script every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m. on the nation's favorite radio station, playing the best hip-hop, urban, Afro, and R&B on 99 FM.
99 FM.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The rain received over the weekend in the capital saw many Goriangka residents living along Machichi Street losing their belongings as several houses were washed away by rainwater. Hoteliers said the residents often question where to set up their structures when informed that they built in a riverbed. According to Susana, the furniture is in an unsafe place and urged them to relocate toward the side of Ongos Valley. Frau asked where is the former Windhoek Mayor John Amupanda and the head of state who once promised land. Jake said 80% of the structures are built close to or within a riverbed. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to engage on our stories on our social media pages for broadcast on News on One.
Ek kom nie terug nie. Ek sal altyd lief bly vir pa.
Dan vergeet ek het ooit uitgevind die wet beson is my pa. My ma kon hom vergewe.
The bomb exploded in the heights. What? When?
Time now for Sport on One. Genesis Football Club and Academy based in Swakopmund has invited the Soccer Assist Academy based in England to share coaching philosophies and conduct training for younger players during a 3-day training session which concluded last week Wednesday at the coastal town.
About 65 young male and female players from the Genesis Football Club and Academy went through a 6-session training and technique course to aid in their growth and playing style. Sport One spoke to some of the players who took part in the training and who were happy to share their experiences.
Today's training was very good, and I've experienced a lot of things that we are not doing here in Namibia. And I hope to encourage other players to do the same, and I hope it will even help my fitness level.
The training camp we had with Mr. Ben was a total experience for us players. We had things I'm not normally doing for training, and what Mr. Ben explained for us what they are doing other side had encouraged our players to get the momentum they need.
Sport on One also caught up with football manager of Soccer Assist Academy in England, Benjamin Watts, by video call for his take on the visit to Namibia.
Just a quick thank you from me on behalf of Soccer Assist and our International Football Academy in the UK. I was recently in Namibia for about 3 to 4 days working with Coach Franklin and Genesis Football Club. Saw some awesome male and female players, met some brilliant people, was well looked after, great country, superb sessions and practices. Really looking forward to seeing what the future might hold in terms of our partnership. And yeah, just a big thank you from me and of course Soccer Assist.
Watts concluded that the agreement between the two parties still needs to be finalized.
Yesterday, at some point.
That is all the sport news we had for you. Please stay tuned for the weather forecast. We have come to the end of tonight's edition of News on One. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team, till next time, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Thank you for watching this show on One Africa. Because you are part of our One family, your voice is very important to us. Please take a moment to rate this show by scanning the QR code on your screen now, and you can stand a chance to win fantastic prizes every month. T's and C's apply.
What's going on?
What did I do to deserve this from you of all people?
You need to stop fighting my battles for me.
People can't know that we're meeting up. It could ruin things for us.
For us? Get out.